I spoke to Christopher Young. He is the Donald Bren Chair of Non-Western Strategic Thought at the Marine Corps University. I asked him to provide his thoughts on the significance of this anniversary.
To go from an army that's essentially a peasant-based force, only worried about surviving, to one with the ability to do UN peacekeeping, to fight pirates, to do a whole range of other things is pretty big.
Talk to me about this growth in recent years. What do you see in terms of developments for the PLA?
Well, I mean, so China's interests are expanding globally. So if they've got expanding economic interests, they're going to have expanding military and national security interests to protect those interests. And so from the Chinese perspective, they have to develop the capability to protect their interests not only in China, not only in East Asia, but in Africa, and Central Asia, and South Asia.
One of the things that's been great over time, you and I have chatted quite a bit about the PLA, and of course about President Xi Jinping's reform efforts with it.
Yeah.
How do you see those going, and the necessity for them?
The reforms are progressing. I mean, it's a three-phase process. They're in their second phase. It's progressing as far as we can see. I have not seen any stumbles or problems with it. And the necessity of it is, if China wants to be a joint force, if they want to be able to fight in the 21st century, they have to do these reforms, or else their military capabilities will become obsolete. And if they're going to have responsibilities outside of China, and if they're going to try and protect themselves globally in areas outside of China, they're going to need to reform itself in order to be more effective at doing that.
Talk to me about the future strategies, where you see China going with the PLA moving forward.
Well, I mean, national security and border issues are always paramount from China's perspective. I mean, going all the way back to the founding of the People's Republic. So I would say that of all China's national security concerns, border disputes are always up there. It's in it's in their historical narrative, where they constantly talk about the century of humiliation, and so they fixate on border disputes and border problems. And so the fact that they're having some trouble with India, the fact that they have maritime territorial disputes with other countries in Southeast Asia, with Japan in East China Sea, it's always a central element of their national security thinking.
And the interesting thing here in the United States, we think about borders, we think about Canada and Mexico, but China has so many borders, it borders so many countries. It's such a large country. That in itself produces, I imagine, some quandaries.
China's surrounded by countries with nuclear weapons. So it isn't just that China has a lot of number of borders. They've got some pretty powerful neighbors. And so it isn't as if China can sort of retreat back to its own territory and not worry about its national security interests. It's surrounded by a couple, I mean, heck, Russia, India,
Pakistan,
nuclear weapons, and North Korea, yes, as well. Yeah. And so China has some pretty significant national security concerns that it's got to manage.
Yeah. Christopher Young, always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Welcome.